Hey everyone, today we continue with the delivery simulator series. As you remember, we modeled bicycle, also created that Unreal Engine project, empty project in the introduction, and now we're gonna implement bicycle in Unreal Engine. So let's start. I want to first create folder here, name it transport, because probably later we're gonna have more transport than bicycle. Maybe not, but I will write my code in that way so we later can expand it and add some, for example, bike or just cars. Okay, and here create new folder, name it bicycle. And as you remember in the introduction, I showed you how to set up a Visual Studio Code project to code it with C++ and later compile it and just work with it. So open your editor, and now we have to add plugin to implement the vehicle in Unreal Engine. All types of vehicle, bicycle, just cars, because we don't want to write all physics from scratch. That's gonna take, I don't know, months. So go to edit, plugins, and here search for vehicle. Yeah, and as you see, chaos vehicles plugin, check it, and here, yes, it's experimental version, but it's working great. And now restart editor. This is what you will see. You can close plugins, tab, and now we enabled that vehicle plugin. So now we can create C++ class inherited from vehicle base class. So go to tools, new C++ class, all classes, and here search for vehicle, wheeled vehicle pawn. Fine. Next. And here important thing is that I don't want to create just bicycle class. First I want to create just vehicle class. It's gonna be my base class that I will create it right now, and later I gonna inherit bicycle and all other types of transport from that base class that I will create now. So first thing is that I want to create, let's name it, I don't know, vehicle. Maybe just let's name it just vehicle. I think it's a good name for base class. And let's put it inside transport. All maybe, yeah, we have transport in blueprints directory, so we can name it transport here also. Okay, transport, hit create class, and live coding gonna be enabled. If you don't have live coding or something is not set it up, then go and check it out introduction series when I show a full process how to set up your project, install some extensions to work later with C++. And as you see here, we have that fatal error. We just started project and we get fatal error, but there is nothing really scary about that. Let's go to the editor, and here, as you see in the transport, I will increase size a bit. I think like that it's okay. In the transport you see vehicle and vehicle CPP and vehicle.h. Vehicle.h is just header files where we're gonna write what properties and methods we're gonna have, and in C++ we will implement it. I think if you watch some quick tutorials about C++ or probably C# too, you're gonna understand all these concepts so easily. If your knowledge about C++ is complete zero, then I highly recommend you to watch some quick tutorials about it, just to know basic syntax and to be more comfortable with C++. Okay, and why we get error? The thing is that in the vehicle C++, here we including our.h file. And I don't know why, but Unreal decide that if we make files in some folder, then they have to add here that folder also. But the thing is that vehicle cpp and vehicle.h are in the same folder, so just remove that, Ctrl S to save, and Ctrl Alt F11 to enable live coding again. Wait a bit, and now you're gonna see that everything is perfect. You see, live coding succeed, and our class is created. Nice. So for now, I not gonna write much code in that series. We mostly gonna work in editor to import mesh, to a bit adjust it, and later to set up some values to vehicle movement component. I will show you what it is and how it works later. Now I just want to create constructor. So let's go public, and here vehicle. They're gonna be constructor, and here you can copy it, and here we need to implement that method. So maybe let's delete that comments, we don't need it, and let's say like that. I will not write anything right here for now, just wait a bit and we will write more code here. And also I want to quickly create begin play begin play. So if you don't know what is begin play and what's the difference between these two, so constructor is called when object that a vehicle object is created. So by that I mean, for example, when we just launch editor, then we're gonna see, let me show you. When we just launch editor, and we're gonna see here in content browser our object that is not exposed on the level, then it means that the constructor is called. So when we just create that object, that when I don't mean we, but Unreal Engine gonna call it for us. But and begin play is called when that that actor, that vehicle, and that is actor also, is exposed on level on the runtime. So when we, for example, click that button to start play, then that method gonna be called. Okay, and why I write virtual and override, because for example a vehicle pawn also have that method, the same method, and we just want to call that method from that base class and also our method to execute all of that. So because of that, and we like overriding that method. So okay, and here to implement it, just copy it and with the void, because we don't, in the implementation in the cpp file, we don't want to write virtual and override, but we want to write void because there is type returned by function. In that I mean not function but method, and in that case that method not return anything. So like that. And as I mentioned earlier, that begin play method should also call begin play from the parent class. I mean, but that a vehicle build vehicle pawn class. So to do that, it's very simple. Just one line of code. Write super and begin play. So we just calling begin play from the base class. That in that case, that class. Okay, fine. Let's now live coding, Alt, Control, and F11. You also can just build your project, but I personally don't like it because it takes more time. Let's see. everything successfully, fine. And as I mentioned, I'm gonna make repository on the GitHub. So here, if you want to also make your repository just to learn Git a bit, then I will go to terminal. So here we just see blocks from Unreal Engine. Terminal, I created new terminal by hitting that plus, and here delivery sim tutorial. Maybe you're gonna have another name. Okay, I will do previous. And here, as you see, if I will write ls, we are in that directory, main directory of the project. And now I can write git add and dot. I don't want to specifically specify that it's vehicle cpp and vehicle.h, because there is only files that we created and there is nothing more to add. Okay, and now git commit and message create vehicle class. Maybe let's say vehicle base class, because we're gonna use it as a base class later. Yeah, later when you want to push, by push I mean send that all changes to the GitHub, you want to write git push like that. You can write it after you made all commits, and just, you know, at the end of the day, when you finish your work, then you can write git push and all changes gonna, with all commits, gonna be pushed to GitHub repository. For now you have just it, local changes and local version control. And now let's go to the Unreal Engine editor. Now we can make classes without clicking here on tools and new CPP class, because in the all we have content engine and C++ classes that was created after we created the first class. So go to our project, transport, and here let's create new class. This is gonna be a class inherited from the vehicle class. Vehicle, so vehicle was inherited from the wheeled vehicle pawn, and now we create bicycle class and we inherited from the vehicle class. And here let's name it bicycle, and let's put it in the bicycle folder, because I don't really for now know do we need to put it in the folder, but to just keep things organized, let's put it in the folder. As you see, it's fairly simple to put it in the folder. Okay, so let's create that class. Git create class. Also, I will quickly. I just forget to do that. You don't need to do that. I just making it that it is easier for you to see what I'm doing. I will increase scale of the interface. I think that is better for you. Not better for you maybe, but it's okay. And as you see, just like with the previous class, the live coding is failed with the same error. So as you remember, we just have to go to bicycle here in the CPP and delete that thing that Unreal added wrong path to the .h file. And after we compiled it, I know what is the problem is. The same with the vehicle, because we have to include that object, that class that we created earlier. To include that, just let's make like kind of absolute path, but not absolute, just I mean absolute from the source direction of the project. So here let's write delivery sim tutorial. Why I writing that? Because take a look at source folder. We have here that folder where all files that we create located. So copy that name of folder that you have, and then transport. Let's also copy that to not make any typos. And here vehicle.h, and don't forget to put slash in here. Now compile. Let's try. And as you see, everything is succeed. I will go to content folder because we will not add any C++ classes in that episode. And let's also just quickly create constructor and begin play. So I will go to vehicle.h, just copy that and here paste it, and just change the name of the constructor. And here in the CVP file also I'll do the same, and now copy name and paste it here, here, and that is all. What do we have to do? I can close vehicle.h and the CPP files, and now let's compile it, expose live coding, and see if we have some mistakes or not. No, everything is fine. So now let's add it to a repository. Create. By the way, if you want to get your previous commands, I use arrows on my keyboard. So down arrow and up arrow. I mean not arrow, but arrow. Arrow. Yeah. And here create bicycle class. Nice. So now let's jump to Unreal and make something in Unreal Engine. So the first thing is that we have to import mesh that we created earlier, as I remember, in Blender. Or maybe you can download it from the link in the description. I remind you, I'll put link in the description if you want to download ready model. Okay, so here, new folder, name it mesh, and inside that mesh I opened that bicycle here, FBX file that I exported. You can download it, I just remind, and drag and drop it here. It's a little bit big. Okay. As you remember, we didn't create armature, but we just parented some objects. So because of that, we have to add skeletal mesh. I mean not add, but like force Unreal Engine to create it by itself. And here we don't have to change anything. And now I can hit import all. Wait a moment. It's okay. Warning. Just close it. Hit Ctrl Shift S to save everything. Fine. As you see, we have our model like that. Beautiful model. Materials is a bit wrong, but right now we're gonna fix that. Okay, and also I want here to create materials folder, select all of that, and move here to materials. Nice. And here, if you followed Blender part, then you remember that when we, for example, create metallic, we increased metallic, decreased roughness, and all of that. So I honestly not remember what numbers I put it in Blender, so I will just fix it that our model looks better, you know. So let's open model to just see what is happening here. And now let's make it metallic and roughness 0.02 maybe. Not 0.02 but 0.2. Here. Apply material, because without application we will not see it on the bike. on the bicycle. And as you see, our mesh, our parts of mesh where it should be metallic is metallic. Okay, let's open another material, next rubber. Here I think I just increased roughness, maybe 0.9, apply. This material is not really visible on mesh, will not be real visible in game. What I realize now is that if we go to mesh here in bicycle, I just watched on the seat and on the wheel and on that pedal, no, that pedal, and they're looking strange. The reason for that is I messed up model a bit, I think. Of course, I'll fix it right now, and I'll put in the description, in the link in the description. You can download normal model, and you will not have the same mistakes, because I'll fix it right now. Go to Blender, and see it also is wrong. So okay, I open a Blender, that model that we created. It will take a bit time. I don't think that not that very much. But, we must fix it, I think, because that looks completely weird. Go to front view, and here, just to show you what is happening, I will enable face orientation. Here, as you see, the things that read are wrong. Face orientation means that inside of that mesh should be on the other part, and I want to like reverse it, you know. Go to front view, I mean side view. I just hit 1 on the keyboard, on the numpad. I also will enable keys for you, that you see what I'm pressing. And here select with the L the first, and in the F3, hit F3, and here search for recalculate outside, or maybe for you it's gonna be inside. So recalculate, and here outside or inside, or let's just because of that we will make it a lot right now, as you see. Let's just hit Shift N, Shift N, L, Shift N, L, Shift N, L, Shift N, and I don't know why, but if we select, for example, 2 of it and hit Shift N, oh no, it worked. Okay, when I tested out, it didn't work. So okay, with the L key, let's select it, Shift N, and you understand basically that process. It's not really hard, but nobody is like, sorry, Shift N, nobody is like where the things happened. Okay, so our wheel is okay right now. Let's go to pedal. Before that, we can just select all with the A and F, recalculate. Okay, go here with the L, select and Shift N. Fine, so that is fine. I'll also check the full mesh. So I think the full mesh is okay, it's just, oh, we just have that little mistakes. I'll fix it right now also. Go here to seat, select seat and Shift N. Okay, fine. Also here. Maybe we can just move it in the proper position, because in reality the thing should cover that hole. Yeah, and it will be good. Let's just go 1 and hit here with the L, and just with the G I move it and cover that hole. So now it's okay. Also here, a little mistake. I'll scale it. Move a bit. Just that it looks okay. Fine, now we can disable that face orientation preview. And I will just export it one more time. Select everything and export to FBX. I'll delete previous model because I don't want that. Select objects here, X forward, Z up. Yep. Animations disable and leave bones also disable and export. Okay, I will close Blender because I don't want that anymore for now. Probably we can just delete it. We can re-import, but there is no sense to do that. I will just delete it and export one more time. Go to bicycle and export it. As I showed, check that skeletal mesh and import all. Let's see what we got. Okay, we have some warnings. Don't worry about that. Shift Control Shift S to save all. And here, let's see, the seat is okay, pedals are okay, everything looks nice. Fine. And now we finally can move that materials and fix it. Go to blue metallic as I showed earlier. 1 and here 0.1 or 0.2, maybe 0.2, like that. Apply. After all changes, apply your materials. Of course, here 0.9, apply. Metallic, should be metallic, so let's make it metallic. The same as with the blue. We're gonna later work with materials in Unreal Engine when we will do some more complex stuff, when we will build city and something like that, like some objects. And I will explain to you materials a bit, that you understand more what is happening. Here, as you see, values that metallics, roughness, specular, and all that you saw that Blender also. So there is nothing really hard about that. Now here maybe I should put 0.1. Tire was like with high roughness. Yeah. And now let's see our mesh, and it looks a bit better. Yeah, I think it looks really nice. We can put it on level just to see the sizes of it. Size is pretty nice, pretty fine. We start game, we see it. It's nice. Later we're gonna write that. Okay, for now let's delete it from scene. And now I want to go to physics asset and fix it a bit. Because here Unreal created for us that wonderful physics asset. We want to delete it. So here delete all bodies below. And let's start from scratch and create normal physics asset. I mean, that physics asset could be a bit different from what you saw before, but I will create it just for later implemented with that plugin that we enabled previously. Now to see what we're doing, here let's show all bones, and here in frame let's add kinda main shape. This is gonna be a box. Move it a bit and scale it like that, because wheel's gonna be controlled by another shape, figure, let's say shape, like that. The main thing, one of the main things, is that box should not touch floor, because bike will fly in. Yeah. And here, as you remember, we made that front physic wheel and rear physic wheel. That looks a bit strange in the Blender, but I'll show you why we done that. The first thing is we have to go to the front wheel. Where is it? Oh, I said here forward and here front. Okay, I think it doesn't really matter. Not really matter. And here, just to not make the same mess as we do it here with the box and scale it, we can just go to front wheel and here sphere and add bodies. So Unreal Engine added perfect size for that sphere, and that is great. Okay, and now here search for primitives, and we get here, we can get here radius of that sphere that Unreal Engine created for us. And now we have to go to front physic wheel, do the same, so add bodies. But as you see, scale is not that perfect, so we have to go to primitives, and put that radius also. Yes, and that physic wheel is mainly used for vehicle movement component, so we can delete that physics, that sphere that we created earlier. Okay, and now do the same with the back wheel. So go to back wheel, sphere with bodies, primitives, copy, go to rear physics wheel, add bodies and paste that value, and delete back wheel. Okay, save it, that's fine. And here, just one detail, go to front wheel, physics body, and in the physics type, select kinematic. Also do the same in the rear, physics type kinematic. And I also did think about it, and let's make it wider, maybe longer. Okay, fine, save it, and we can exit from it. Now let's go to bicycle folder and finally add blueprint class inherited from the CP class that we created later. It is bicycle, that one, that is not CPP class right now, this is blueprint. Of course, we're not gonna make some blueprints, just to put values and then expose on the level. Okay, let's name it VP bicycle. And here, as you see, that vehicle movement component that I tell you about earlier. Here, let's go to mass and put it to 100 for now. Maybe we'll later modify it. And in the physics asset, select frame, and in the mass, just enable it and save. Okay, fine. In the vehicle mesh, that one, mesh, we have to here select bicycle and also search for simulate physics. Maybe it's just physics. Oh, here. Okay, simulate physics. Check it. It's very important. Okay, and now as you see in the vehicle component, there is many values just in a moment we will work with that. But for now, what I want to do is jump to CPP code, and in the vehicle .h add a few objects, a few components to the transport, because every transport gonna have camera, gonna have some maybe collision box, gonna have many things, and I want to add it right now, and I will show you how to do that with C++. So the two probably main things, let's put it together like that, and later write public one more time just to separate that properties and methods. And here write new spring arm component. That spring arm component, it's a camera boom. Maybe you heard about it before. So that is a parent of the camera that will work like a stick, maybe like selfie stick or something. And here also we have to include that spring arm class. To do that, include, and I'll also component camera component because we'll add camera right now, so I'll do that. And game framework spring. I don't know why code editor not help me with writing that includes, but maybe later I'm gonna fix it. Okay, now let's name it camera boom, just that, like as always name, and also I have to make it a property to modify it and see it in the Unreal Engine editor. Here, edit anywhere, and blueprint. Read write. And also let's add category. Here gonna be camera. Okay, let's copy and paste, and it's gonna be view camera component. That's gonna be just camera. And now we have to expose it in the constructor, that constructor right here. So go to CPP file, vehicle CPP, and here type camera boom, create default subobject, provide a type of it, and provide name. Name gonna be just the same, camera, but of course you can put whatever name you want. And here camera, you have to set up attachment, because our actor has some hierarchy, and we will attach it to the root component. In our case, let me show you, root component is mesh. Okay, and here also do the same with the camera. I'll just copy it. And here copy and paste. Change it to camera component, and camera attached to the camera boom. Whew, okay, now let's enable coding. I mean, start coding. Code is compiled. Oh, we have some errors, some mistakes. Okay, vehicle 21st line. Oh, I have category, not category. Okay, that was wrong. Let's try one time. Oh, okay. Can't include camera component, maybe wrongly spelled. Oh yeah, because it's inside camera component. I hope that's all what we gotta do. Fine. Everything is successfully fine. We have camera boom. We can move it and rotate it. Later I will make it a bit more interesting maybe. For now, let's leave it like this. I'll quickly here in the content just to show you. Make a game mode. That one game mode base. It's just game mode. Main game mode. Let's select that. And in the world settings, I will select my game mode. Here in the pawn, select BP bicycle. Now let's save it. Oh, level is not saved, so let's make new folder, name it level. Here type empty level. Okay, and here we can start play. Oh, wow. Okay, maybe let's create just another level. Then a level, empty level 2, and open it. And here let's start it. Yeah, that is good. So I don't know what was wrong with the previous, but okay. Let's add skylight, directional light, also volumetric cloud, sky atmosphere, and that one. Okay. Of course, I will make mountains like in that starter map that we have, starter level, previous that we get errors, just to test things. I'll make it the same kind of interesting level, and here select main game mode, BP bicycle. Let's start. Oh, and as you see, interesting things are happening. I just reversed. Okay, that's totally wrong. Now we gonna make it right. And now we jump into more complex part, but of course don't worry, I already suffered with that component for you, so okay, don't worry. When we will change some values, I'm gonna try to explain you what that values mean, because there is really much of values. I can't explain everything. Maybe go to internet and Google that a couple of words and read what that mean mostly. They're gonna be something related to physics stuff, and really honestly I'm not really good at physics, so sometimes it is really hard for me even to understand some of the concepts. Okay, so basically what the component mean, we will just adjust the way how the bike is riding, how wheels are rotating, how we can rotate steering, what wheels are front, what wheels are back, I mean rear, speed, and etc. etc. You'll see. Okay, first things first. Here in the wheel setup, suspension should be enabled. Yep, because we didn't model it, but mostly bicycle had suspension. Okay, wheel friction should be disabled. I find for me that this work a bit better because it is easier to stop bicycle without it. I just found that. And here we see that wheel setup. Now we have to make some things with that. So we add two wheels because we have two wheels. And here wheel class, we have to create it. So now let's jump here. Oh, to the transport, to bicycle, and here let's create folder, name it wheels. We will make separate wheels for front wheel and for the rear wheel. So let's create it, we'll print class. We don't have to now create C++ class to later inherit it, because there is no need to do that, we just adjust some values. Okay, so here search for wheel, and here chaos vehicle wheel. Let's name it chaos vehicle wheel. So chaos, let's like that, or just chaos wheel CW. Okay, let it be like that. And it's gonna be front wheel, and also let's make wheel rear rear wheel. And as you see, I will open it right now. All we want to do is focus on that values. Later I will adjust it also, but for now let's adjust values right there. So the first gonna be front wheel and bone name. In our case, bone name, let me go to that skeletal mesh. Yep. And as you remember, we created that physics wheel, and now we're gonna use it finally. So select that and copy selected bone names, and here put it here. As I said you when I model that bike, I really spent on it few days, maybe about a week, just trying to figure it out for me. I tried to do that with armature, everything has broken, and just I'm glad that you will not waste that much time that I wasted for it. Okay, here select rear and copy that name and put it here. Compile and save. And we can collapse it so do not see that setup. Okay, here we can call sim enabled, but leave it enabled. I found out that it feels better. Like there are different bikes. Some have that thing to adjust your, I don't know how it's called, just how hard pedals should rotate in, and depends on that how fast your bicycle will be, and enable it because mostly bicycle have that. And in the engine setup, here the torque curve is gonna show how our vehicle or bicycle start. By start I mean from 0 to some start speed. In our case that's gonna be around maybe 30 kilometers per hour maximum. In some cars the torque curve is a bit different, because for example we want to make some muscle car that's gonna start a little bit interesting, but in our case we can just hit here with the mouse shift. I just pressed shift and with the left mouse button hit that. So put it, let's make it like that, put it in the 0 and 0, and 0 and 0, and also with the shift add and put it like 3 and 3 maybe. I think that is okay. The main thing is that maybe you can adjust it. The main thing is that that line should be just straight, and that's all what we want to do basically. And here max torque is 30. Basically that torque and that parameters are just gonna show how fast vehicle is. Here put 1050, and you can later adjust the values, see how it works for you. Maybe you model a bicycle by yourself and that value is gonna be a bit different for you, or you're just gonna like some different values. But I find out that works better for me. Okay, you can read in the internet what is RPM, what is torque. It's just physics stuff, depending physics stuff related with the engines and with all that a bit hard stuff. Maybe it's not that hard, but I just didn't interested it about it. So for me, it's a bit hard to understand for now. Maybe later I will find some free time and read about it more. Okay, let's close it and different setup. In that case, we don't have to modify anything because bicycle have rear wheel drive. So just close it. Transition setup. I think it's good. Yeah, values are okay. That values means when we transition between as we where yeah here mechanical setup, when we transition between the gears, we have some ratio. By ratio means how quick should be vehicle to transition to the later gear to and in the reverse direction also. So in our case that values are okay. Here in the steering setup, let's make 0.5. I want to drive 0.5. Maybe later I'll change it. That angle ratio for the steering gonna, as you maybe understand it, gonna just show how strongly steering can rotate, and sometimes we want to limit that. So I think that's good. Maybe I will modify it later when we're gonna test how bicycle works. Here, as you remember, I modified mass to 100, and one probably the most important thing is enable center of mass override, because without it enabled, our bicycle gonna just fall, because of thing that bicycle have two wheels basically. And here center of mass override, I tested out many values. Let's try -100. I know that maybe sounds a bit strange, like center of mass -100. Maybe I will test it out and make it just 100, or maybe it's gonna be work better for you with 100, or maybe 15, or other values. Just test it out for you. It depends. It really mostly depends on just how you model it, your bicycle, or maybe you implement bike, I don't know. And here chases width, it's gonna be 20 because that bicycle is really thin, and here 90 in the height. Here in the torque control, enable it, and rotation template should be 20. And in the target rotation control also enable it, roll speed, and just enable just it, because without it you're gonna get some messy results when you will apply that moment. Here put 1 in the max angle, think 35. Here let's put 10. You know, you probably will adjust the values later. The stiffness are really the thing that I struggled with sometime, because sometimes when you put wrong value, then your steering are just not steering, but full bicycle, just shaking in the rotation damping. I put 1, acceleration 30, here also 1. Stabilize control, you shouldn't enable it. I will not enable it. And I think it's it. Yeah, also here use acceleration for pass check it. And for that component I think that's it. Let's compile and save. Okay, now we didn't set up modify wheels. So let's start with the rear. Here in axle type, put rear because it's rear wheel. In the wheel radius, it also depends on your model. I find out that with 35 gonna be good, and wheel width 15. Okay. Wheel mass is 5. I don't think that it's gonna be more than 5 in the bicycle. And friction follows multiplier, because it's a real wheel, then I will put 6. Here, of course, mostly rear wheel is affected by brake, but I'll implement that in that way that we have only handbrake. So I will check it. Affected by engine, yes, and SL ABS enabled, yes. Here, affected by steering, no, because this is rear wheel. Of course, it is not. It is not affected by steering, it's obvious. And here we don't have to modify anything. So compile and save and go to front wheel. Here, so of course, select front, and in the wheel radius the same values as I put before, because wheels is the same in our bicycle. So here, affected only by handbrake. Front wheel is not affected by engine, because when we rotate pedals, we affecting only back wheel. I mean rear wheel. I frequently name the rear wheel like back wheel or backward wheel. It's easier for me. And here affected by steering, yes, that will is also leave it like it is. And now let's make first trial. So here I should have some place. Where is it? Player start. Player start. Let's, I don't know, maybe apply some material because it's so light. I don't like that. So let's put it like that, at least. Or maybe some like ground. I don't know. Because we added starter content, it's a lot of easier. Okay, let it be like that. Maybe I'll add some cone. Let it be just to see where we are. Cone. Of course, later I will make levels better, and when we will make city, we will make entire city, model it. I don't know how time I will spend on it, but it's gonna be interesting, I think, to make entire city in the blender and later here expose it and put in some interesting way. Okay, like that, save all. And let's start. Oh, interesting. Probably when maybe you remember I said about shaking, maybe it's related. So let's search where it was. Target rotation. And here maybe put 5. Probably no, the same. Probably it's because of the center of mass override. Maybe I just put it bigger than it should be value. Start. It's, I don't know, maybe it's a bit better if -10. It's a state. We should spend a bit time. And we have it. For now, if we move mouse or click some buttons on keyboard, your best keyboard, then you will not get anything because our classes are just empty. And now we have to implement movement, but thanks for Unreal and thanks for everything that be, I think, quickly, because every function just will have a few lines of code and we'll make it quickly. So of course I will make movement and camera rotation in the vehicle base class, that one that I'm now here, because every type of transport gonna have the same camera and the same movement. I mean, when we press W, we're gonna go forward and so on. We will just adjust for that values right here. Okay, so now let's start with that movement. Okay, let's first things. Go to edit, project settings. We just have to add some input key bindings that when we press on some value on some key or mouse, then we get something, action is happening. And just for that we have action mappings and axis mappings. So actions mappings is for that actions, for example, when we press space, then we jump, and it's just one-time action that we press, and that's all. In case of axis mappings, for example, when we move mouse, we move it all the time. All the time get some values. I mean results. Camera is rotating, you know. Yeah, and like when we press W or another keys to go forward or some direction, we press and hold it. So actions are happening. Okay, I mean axis. Yeah, if video is too long, I can't talk anymore, it's hard. But I will do that like quickly, and that's all for today. Will be okay. Handbrake. So when player want to brake here, press spacebar. I think press spacebar is okay because like in the GTA they have spacebar, so why not? Now let's go to axis mappings. First look right, and here I will put mouse X, scale 1, then look up, mouse Y, and here let's do -1. When I created character in the, I have that 2-hour video where I create character and explain full process. That is long video, but if you never created characters by yourself and you want to learn it and then apply the same approach to similar pawns like that, like vehicle, I think you definitely should watch that video and try to follow along maybe. Okay, it's the first video on my channel, by the way. And second is move back. We have to have move back and move forward like separated actions, because that will be easier later when we will implement it in code with the vehicle component, movement component. I will show you. Here S. In case if we move back, scale -1, then move forward. Here is W, and here 1, and then turn left. Maybe it's a bit strange that we have to separate it for move forward and move back. It's like separated axis mappings, but when we go left and right we have 1. But when we will see code, I think you will understand it, why I done that. For me it was strange first time too. Oh sorry, A should be -1 and D 1. Okay, we can close it, save all, and now let's go to our code. Here we have to add a few methods. Methods. Let's let it be public also. By the way, you don't have to specify every time there is public and private and protected. If you specify it here that is public, we can remove that and that. But for me, it's just better to separate sections of code, because someone separated using the comments. I will just make it like that. Okay. So first thing is we will make virtual void setup So here we get just player movement component where we can bind axes. So, and also override. I explained voice override and all that stuff on the start of the video with that begin play. It works just the same way. And also, by the way, here in that function we should have a u function. U function like that macro, because otherwise it will not work. Yeah. So copy that, go to your implementation, and here let's implement it. So I'll put it in quickly. So yeah, I forgot. Not forgot. Here we should like here call the same method from the parent class from where we inherited it. And here I copied just player into component because it has such a long name, and just to quickly type it. And here bind axis. If you want to bind axes from that thing, then we bind axis. If we want to bind actions. We bind actions. Yep. And here I'll copy it. Sorry. Copy it. Here paste the name. And as you see, arguments. First is the axis name. I copied it. And here we just pass user object. That means object that have method that will be called. And now we also put here a reference, link, maybe link to the method that should be called. Let's create it quickly. Gonna be void. It's gonna be also new function, because otherwise it will not work. It will void look right. Let's copy. Look right. Fine. Let's also make look up, and then I will create another. And here we pass it like that symbol with ampersand. In C++ with ampersand you can send reference. And here a vehicle. Look right. I will not talk that much right now because it's kind of manual process. And you will see I just copy and paste names. Now move forward. Let's copy just. And here also copy. I'll copy everything to not make typos. I like to do it that way. Oh, sorry. I will make methods a bit later. For now, we just copy. And also, I put here too. Just bind actions. It's gonna be handbrake. Sorry. This is a bit manual process to bind all that things. Alright, here we should first method gonna be start handbrake and here stop handbrake. Okay, let's add that. And also I forgot we have to here add cons float scale because we receive scale from here. We specified it, and we will receive scale to methods. Okay. Those three. Move forward. And also that. Let's copy. I don't know if it is some quick way. Oh yeah, here we can just create definition. And let's do it. No, I just have to put my mouse a bit here. I don't know, and it exposed. Okay, you can write it manually, by the way, if you want. But I feel I will make definitions like that. No. Yeah, definition. Right, nice. We have all the definitions, and it's gonna be quick, I promise you. Here, look right, it's just add control your input and provide scale. In the lookup, it's just add control pitch input. In the move forward, it is a bit different from where when we created character, because here we will call methods from that plugin, from that component that we added. So here get vehicle movement component, and here we will set throttle scale. Yeah, here I put scale. Here is the same, pretty much the same. In the turn left, we just set steering input, because when we turn, we rotate steering. Here, when we move back, we will set brake, because in the most bicycles, when we go back, then we just set brake, and we will do here the same way. And also, let me see, move back. Oh yeah, here I put -1, because later, so character should have -1 for it, and because of that, here I write minus scale to make it just 1, because here it is should and that message should get not, it should get positive value. Yeah, and because of that, it's the same if I just multiply by -1, but I can just write minus scale. Okay, here in start handbrake, it's also very easy. Get movement component and set handbrake input to true, and if stop handbrake, then to false, and that is all we have to do. So now let's compile and let's see if it works or not. Oh my god. Okay. What is going on? Oh, I wrote unfunction. Yeah, here just function. It's typo that I copied and pasted much times. That message looks scary a bit. What is wrong now? Oh yeah, I forgot. When we bind actions, we should also provide kind of event when we want to bind it. You see that? Yeah, event trigger event. And it's very easy to fix. UI event input event. Editor should help me a bit, please. And here pressed. Here is I released. And now I hope that I forgot to include that component, so my file is not seeing it. Okay, it's also easy to fix. Here you just go here, and after you included vehicle, include chaos vehicle movement component.h. Let's try. Probably I will have to add that name also in build.cs file. I'm not sure. Let's see. Because throttle input. I don't know, maybe I forgot to write it. Save it as always. It takes a bit time, maybe. Maybe Visual Code proceeding, all that files, loading something, I don't know. And oh yeah, finally we successfully completed it. Fine. So now let's try. Probably I also have to here in the camera adjust some values, but well, let's just test. Probably not. Who knows? Level and empty level 2. Okay. And now we can ride. Okay, fine. Nothing is rotating, we don't have any animations, and also I can't move my mouse. I'll see why. But as you see, we're riding. And oh, okay. Animations like rotating steering and rotating pedals, rotating wheels, we will not do it today. But in the next next episode, I will animate my bicycle, and later I will also animate a character for that bicycle. Okay, so now let's see what is wrong. What we have to fix is just here go to camera boom and use pound control rotation, enable it, and here disable that pitch. No, disable roll and enable pitch. Compile save. And let's try. As you see, you can move your camera around and bicycle is riding great. If I press my space bar, then it's hand braking. Okay, also it's a bit flying. Probably it's because of the wrong radius of wheels that is specified. Here in wheels, move here into front, and probably that wheel radius should be smaller. Let's try 35 and also put the same value into our rear. Let's test. As you see, it's a bit better. Probably, I don't know, 25. It's a bit smaller than I thought. Okay, let's try. It's, yeah, should be bigger. Okay, let's 30. If you model it by yourself, maybe also adjust values just for you. Maybe you can just go to Blender and see how big it is, but I don't want to do that. As you see, it's now fine. You don't have animations, but as you see now, basically it is a bit rotating. And that is fine. That is what we want. When we will animate everything, it will look much better. Yeah, as you see, it's fine. If I go back, I can go back. If I go forward, I can go forward, and I'm just happy with that. If I expand, F11 by the way. Some bug. What is happening? Okay, not today. Maybe later I will fix it. As you see, just it works, and I'm happy with that. Smiling. Thank you, see you for watching. In the later episodes, we will animate everything, add character, make everything. I will make everything I can to make that bicycle as good as possible. So thanks you for watching. Don't forget to hit like and see you in the next episode.